She asked a single dad, "Why don't you have a girlfriend?" He couldn't admit she was the reason Ryan Mitchell had exactly 3 rules after losing his wife. 1. Put Emma first, always. 2. Don't fall apart in front of his daughter. 3. Never ever let Sarah Calloway know that she was the reason he hadn't looked at another woman in 2 years. He was doing fine on all 3 until today. Seriously, though. Sarah crossed her arms and tilted her head, studying him the way she always did when she wanted a real answer. "Why don't you have a girlfriend?" They were standing near the floor-to-ceiling windows of his office. She'd stopped by to drop off Emma's forgotten lunch, something she did at least twice a week because his 6-year-old inherited his complete inability to remember anything before 8 a.m. The city stretched out behind her. The afternoon light caught the red of her dress, the green of her eyes. Ryan looked away. "I'm busy," he said. "You're always busy." She didn't buy it. She never bought anything he sold. "Emma's in 1st grade now. You've got more help than you did in the beginning. Your mom watches her on weekends. I'm right next door if you need." "Sarah, I'm just saying it's been 2 years since Priya. You're allowed to." "I know what I'm allowed to do." It came out sharper than he meant it. She blinked and he dragged a hand through his hair and exhaled. "Sorry. He shook his head. "It's complicated." She was quiet for a moment. "Is it someone specific?" she asked. "Is that why?" His jaw tightened. "Yes, it's you. It's been you since the night you sat on my kitchen floor with me at 2 a.m. because I couldn't stop shaking and you didn't say a single word. You just stayed. It's been you every morning you walked Emma to school when I had early meetings. Every time you laughed at something Emma said and she looked at you like you hung the moon. Every single time." "No," he said. "There's no one." Sarah looked at him for a long moment. Then she nodded slowly, like she was filing something away. "Okay," she said quietly, and she left. He told himself it was the right call. He had a daughter to raise, a company to run, a grief that had only recently stopped feeling like a physical weight on his chest. He didn't have room to risk the one good, stable thing in his life on a feeling he wasn't even sure was real. Except it was real. He knew it was real the night Emma got sick last winter. Fever spiking at midnight, Ryan panicking in the way that only single parents panic, and Sarah had appeared at his door in an oversized sweatshirt with children's Tylenol and apple juice before he'd even finished texting her. She'd sat at Emma's bedside, singing some half-remembered lullaby so softly that Ryan had stood in the doorway unable to move. He knew it was real every time Emma called her Sarah, and then immediately corrected herself and said, "I mean my Sarah," like the distinction mattered. Like Sarah belonged specifically to them. He knew it was real because he was terrified of it. 2 weeks passed, something shifted between them. Not dramatically. Sarah still came by, still helped with Emma, still texted him terrible puns at random hours. But there was a new careful distance in how she smiled at him, like she'd made a decision. He hated it. Then one Thursday evening, Emma decided to detonate everything. They were all 3 at the kitchen table. Sarah had stayed for dinner, which happened at least once a week, and Emma was telling an elaborate story about something that happened at recess when she suddenly stopped mid-sentence and looked between them both with the terrifying focus of a 6-year-old who has been thinking very hard. "Sarah," Emma said seriously, "do you like my dad?" Sarah choked on her water. Ryan set down his fork. "I mean," Emma gestured broadly, like him, the way people get married." "Emma," Ryan started, because Mrs. Pemberton in school said in Trebisother. Emma nodded with great authority. "And Sarah always gets nervous when you come home early. Her voice goes different." Sarah's face was crimson. Ryan stared at her. She wouldn't look at him. "Emma, buddy," Ryan said carefully, "that's not really—" "And you," Emma turned on him with devastating accuracy, "you smell your shirt before she comes over." Dead silence. Ryan opened his mouth, closed it. "That is not— You do," Emma said simply. "Every time." Sarah pushed back her chair. "I'm just going to—" She pointed vaguely at the hallway. "Bathroom. I'll be right back." She was gone for 4 minutes. Ryan bribed Emma with an extra episode of her show, settled her on the couch, and found Sarah in the hallway near the front door, her arms wrapped around herself, laughing silently at the ceiling. "Don't," she managed. "Don't say anything yet. I just need a second." "Sarah." "She's 6, Sarah whispered. "How is she like this? She gets it from her mother." He paused. "Priya could read me the same way." Sarah looked at him then. Really looked at him. The laughing faded into something quieter. "Ryan, I smell my shirt because you wear the same laundry detergent she used. His voice came out low. When you first started coming over right after the accident, it was hard, and then it stopped being hard, and then it just became something I did because it meant you were coming, and that was the part I was looking forward to. She was very still. I didn't say anything, he continued, because you are the most important person in my daughter's life outside of me, and I couldn't risk getting that wrong. You should have told me, she said, not angry, just honest. I know. She exhaled. I've been trying to get over it, Ryan. That's why I asked you that question in your office. I was trying to talk myself into believing you didn't feel it too, that I was reading it wrong. You weren't reading it wrong. I know that now. She looked up at him. Your 6-year-old just told the whole room. He laughed. It broke something loose in his chest. She's going to be insufferable about this, he said. Completely insufferable, Sarah agreed, a smile. She's going to want to be in the wedding. His breath caught. We haven't even... I know, she was still smiling. I'm just saying, manage your expectations now. She'll want a flower girl dress and full veto power over the venue. Ryan looked at her, really looked at her for the first time in 2 years without flinching away from what he saw. I'm sorry it took me so long, he said. She shook her head. You were protecting her, I understood it. A pause. I just didn't want to keep waiting. You don't have to anymore. From the living room, Emma's voice floated toward them. Are you guys kissing yet? Sarah buried her face in her hands. Ryan called back, mind your show, Emma. That means yes. Later, after Emma was asleep. Finally, dramatically, after 3 requests for water and 1 urgent question about whether penguins dream, Ryan and Sarah sat on the back porch in the quiet dark. She had her knees pulled up. He was close enough that their shoulders touched. For the record, Sarah said eventually, my voice does not go different. It absolutely does. It does not. It goes up about half a step, he said. It's been doing it for at least a year, she groaned. A year? Probably longer. And you didn't say anything for a year? Neither did you. She considered this. Then she leaned her head against his shoulder. Fair enough, she said. He didn't move. He just let it settle. The weight of her, the quiet, the feeling of something finally landing where it was supposed to be. She's going to want to pick the flowers too, Sarah murmured. Just so you know. I know, he said. He wasn't even a little bit sorry about it.